Hi friends, I have a book today called Almost Time. It's by Gary Schmidt and Elizabeth Stickney. The pictures are by Brian Karras. And you'll see on the front, there's a little boy. He's watching these maple trees, and there's buckets there because the sap is coming out of the maple trees and it's going to get turned into syrup. I love maple syrup. This is really a book about waiting, and it feels like we're doing a lot of waiting these days, so I thought you might like this story. When Ethan had to eat his pancakes with applesauce instead of maple syrup one Sunday morning, he knew it was almost sugaring time. "Is the sap running yet?" he asked. Dad shook his head. "Not until the days get warmer." That afternoon, Ethan took his sled to the big hill. It was a sunny day, so he left his hat and his scarf and his mittens at home. But the day wasn't warm. I've done that before. I dressed like I wanted the weather to be, not the way it was. Next Sunday morning, Ethan's dad made a pan of cornbread. No syrup. "Is it time to tap the trees?" Ethan asked. "When the nights get shorter," Dad said. At bedtime that night, Ethan thought there might be some daylight still coming through the window. But there wasn't enough to find Roosevelt. There's Roosevelt right there. I hope he finds him. Next Sunday morning, Ethan stirred raisins and walnuts into his bowl of oatmeal. No syrup. When he bit down on a walnut, he discovered something. "My tooth is loose," he said. His father inspected. "I expect it will fall out before too long." "How long?" asked Ethan. "About as long as it takes the sap to start running," Dad answered. Now Ethan had two things to wait for. There he is, wiggling his tooth. But the days were still cold, and the nights were still long, and his tooth would not come out. The next Sunday morning, Ethan's dad made eggs and toast. Ethan tried not to think about maple syrup in the afternoons when he slid down the big hill, or when he turned on the lamp at night, or when he wriggled his very, very loose tooth at school. Until his dad was waiting when he got off the bus. "How's that tooth?" he asked. Ethan smiled to show him. "So, is the sap going to run now?" asked Ethan. His dad smiled to show him. Every afternoon that week and all day Saturday, Ethan and Dad hauled buckets of sap from the trees and tended the fire beneath the pans until as the sap boiled and boiled. It's pretty cool. They make their own syrup. And early on Sunday morning, when there was already a little light in the sky, Ethan poured sweet maple syrup on his pancakes. Look at that happy face. The end.